I know of 2 brethren that are under this coverage, both in construction, both in the realm of 10 figures, that are literally on top of their game in their realm of construction, of civil engineering in this country. One of them, the first time I met him, I told him, you have business in one state now. Very soon, you will cross over. Now he has active construction business going on in 34 states out of 36 in Nigeria, including countries of Africa. The other one, the same, is in their realm. The one I'm talking about now is an usher in his church. The other one I'm talking about is head of evangelism. There is one of the men who normally gave us his aircraft to use for crusades. In the field of his endeavor currently in this country is number 1. What he produces is number 1. So I am saying that to you to let you know that even in our days and even today, God has witnesses. One of the young men who was raised in this church, he said, Lord, I want to be like my father in the Lord. Then he went to the same university that I went. And then from first year, distinction. So his father he lost his father. So they placed him on scholarship. The school gave him automatic scholarship. He cleared everything till graduation. His mother is in the hospitality department here. And then from there, he went for postgraduate, did surgery, got interested in neurosurgery, brain surgery. So he went to the United Kingdom. This guy, a 5-year neurosurgery course, he did it in 2 years. Brain surgery. When his professor was interviewing him on one of the neurosurgical qualification things, by the time he finished with the professor, you know what the professor told him? He said, you know this subject more than me. That is his teacher, the one who was interviewing. And neurosurgery is very deadly. When they are teaching you the brain itself, is a lot of confusion. It's too complicated because of the kind of things that are there. All manner. These guys, so instead of returning back to Nigeria, they retained him there. There is an oil here that catapults people to the top. Our young man, is the first person to graduate, another one, to be a graduate from his family. Rescued by the Oil of Things Commission. Mathematics. Did first degree, second degree. He was sound engineer. Which location? He do church? Show us his testimony. He said, that's Dr. Bernard Egu, is now in DIGC Liverpool. He did a research titled Numerical Method for Stochastic Alenkane Equation and Stochastic Fractional Partial Differentiation Equations, Subdiffusion and Superdiffusion. It's an aspect of applied mathematics that is relatively new in the area of material science, financial markets, epidemiology, fluid dynamics and engineering. He was in the sound engineer at the Kurudu Church here in Abuja before he left for studying the UK, and is now is still the HOD of media in Liverpool Church right now. Now it's a relatively new field. Just him and a few people went into the field for the first time. Electrodynamics, fluid dynamics, the motion of fluids. It has to do with a lot of things, even in what do you call it now, explorations and so on and so forth, and all of that. Now the professor that came to interview him for his final PhD dissertation and to award him the PhD, he says one of the most dreaded mathematics professor in the whole of the UK is known for it. So when the man came to interview him, he said that he sat with him for 5 hours. He asked him this, he moved there, 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 he moved there. By the time he tackled the man for 5 hours, the man said, you deserve it, take. The one you are talking about, the flood, is a guy that testified in the New York crusade. He saw me in the dream of the night. I was solving certain equations. I will solve it and clean it, solve it and clean it, solve it and clean it. He's in the area of geology and exploration. They invited him to a Western African country for flood control and flood prediction. At the interview, he said when they interviewed him, all of a sudden, he remembered some of the equations that I taught him in the dream. When he woke up, he had forgotten. At the interview, he remembered. That catapulted him to United Nations in New York, where they were doing certain things on space study and space engineering or something like that. Now they said they gave him another interview. There was a second part of the equation he didn't remember after that dream. They gave him another interview and brought forth an equation for him to solve. He said the moment he looked at it, bam, it returned back. If you look at him now, that t-shirt he's wearing, that equation, that is what is on the chest. He is now highly rated in the space science realm. Someone get ready. Something is about to happen to you. Ay, 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 ay. Hey! 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 If you are saying an amen, shout the loudest amen. I see something is about to be fired into your system, fired into your mind to catapult you to the top. You believe that? Shout the loudest amen.